This is embarrassing. That is Pat McAfee, a man who is about to make $60 million a year from a company like ESPN, who keeps laying off journalists, reporters, members of the crew, feature writers, etc., left and right. He attended the Patriot Games alongside Donald Trump. I personally see a lot in these clips.
Like, we need people that love sports being a part of sports happenings. We just want it to revolve around sport.
Mainly the complete inconsistencies from one Pat McAfee. Let me explain. Time and again, he's made it clear he wants to always keep politics out of what he does, talking sports, and then...
It is our honor, live from Paris Island, to say, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now for the first time ever, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah!
Mr. President.
Hello, Pat. Hi, Pat.
Because you see, he'll say stuff like, and I quote, "I haven't polled our crowd, but I'm rather certain that nobody's wanting to come hang out with us to hear us talk about politics." And then he airs stuff like this.
I know this week you're obviously going to be alongside of him later this week. How much have you talked to him, and what do you think people should think about the thoughts of how he is right now? Even a man who is as mentally tough seemingly and as unshakable and unfathomable. I mean, getting shot is a whole different animal, and his natural reaction.
I've been saying this forever about this guy. He is one of the toughest, most resilient human beings that I have ever met in my life. This guy is the legitimate, ultimate American badass of all time.
At one point, he'd even quip, "I think it's probably a massive reason for our success, actually." So all of this has been a good reminder of what we're good for and who we're good for. Someday I'll try and build up enough of a brain to dive into the politics world, but that time is nowhere near now. Meanwhile,
and we also had the commander-in-chief on the show live, but in my eyes, he's the leader of the military, and we were celebrating the hell out of Veterans Day. So if you're against what happened yesterday, I'd like to say you hate the troops.
Let's also not forget the Trump administration broke the news to Pat McAfee himself that the President of the United States would be attending the Washington Commanders Detroit Lions game. That was when he was in the broadcast booth with Jonathan Vilma and Kenny Albert throughout the game. So don't forget about that either. This also happened.
A discussion, obviously, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yeah, okay.
He had a dream. And I think Lank was one of the closest we have had to potentially that dream coming to fruition.
That's right.
So let's realize that as we look around, that we're maybe more close than we've ever been.
He got shredded for it because, let's be clear, it was a dumb ass take. No, it was a really stupid fucking take. Then he would air this guy's grievances.
There's a lot of great clinics and the alphabet gangsters who control a lot of the medicine, I say that very loosely, that gets cleared, aren't exactly on board with, giving a lot of clearance to some of the stuff. I'm 48 hours in, and I consulted with a now good friend of mine, Joe Rogan, after he got COVID. And I've been doing a lot of the stuff that he recommended in his podcasts and, on the phone to me. And I'm going to have the best immunity possible. I'm thankful for people like Joe stepping up and using their voice. I am somebody who's a critical thinker.
You sure?
I've been taking monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, zinc, vitamin C and D, HCQ.
And still claim to be apolitical. At one point, he stated, "I don't know Josh Harris's political affiliation, and I don't really care to look into it. But I do know sports and stadiums are a place where all different backgrounds, all prices, all socioeconomic coming together just to tell the other team they suck. It's beautiful. Sports are the greatest." Are we for real right now? Do we not remember? Even during the playoffs when Josh Harris sat right next to Howard Lutnick. You know, Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor, Howard Lutnick. Josh Harris, also mentioned in the Epstein files. But of course, I digress. And when he does not stick to sports, oof.
Having the entire internet, half of the country hating you and calling you disgusting things, telling you to kill yourself, telling you that you're a horrible person, that you deserve to die, that's a really hard thing for a girl to go through.
He went after Mary-Kate Cornett by discussing a complete fabrication of a story.
Dad had sex with son's girlfriend.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
And then it was made public. So now that's the absolute worst case situation.
In February, an online rumor went viral, claiming an Ole Miss sorority sister slept with her boyfriend's father. Then, someone attached Cornett's name and photo to it.
Do you know why the rumor started?
No clue. No clue. I had zero knowledge of this.
This disgusting rumor was a top trending topic on Twitter?
Within 2.5 hours. Later that night, around 7 p.m., I was #1 trending in the United States. I felt so helpless. I want these famous people to know that I was not famous before this. I'm not a public figure that you can go talk about on your show to get more views. I'm not. Sorry. Nobody knows who I am, or nobody did know who I was. But them pressing this and pushing it farther made my situation so much worse. Because the people who were talking about it are the people that I would want to take a picture with if I saw it in public. They're people that I watched. Pat McAfee, ESPN, that's on my living room TV every single night.
That's gotta hurt that he's talking a bit that way.
It does, because I used to look up to these people, and now these same people are making me feel worthless. I don't think that these boys realize what they're doing to people. It's awful. It's awful.
And then his defense was utter bullshit. I'm a girl dad.
As a girl dad, I also was very thankful for the opportunity to let Mr. Cornett know that I was wildly regretful for the part that our show, our program, played in his daughter, Mary-Kate's pain.
This dude claims to straddle the fence while simultaneously he walks out with President Donald Trump at the Patriot Games, is positioned right next to him at the Patriot Games. Oh, and also alleged gay man who hates gay folks, Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno was in the box. But you cannot invoke being apolitical. After all, if someone is apolitical in this environment, 9 times out of 10, they just don't want to discuss their politics because they align with the far right. At this point, it's okay. Because we know what you are. We see what you report. We see who you sit next to. We see the company that you keep. And we know exactly who you align with. By the way, for this competition,
This is it. Finally, it's here. Patriot Games. Woo! We're heading there now, so let's go check it out.
Oh, so this is actually a thing. This is, you know what? Let's go check it out.
As we pulled into Spire, they had flags lining the entire way. A really cool welcome banner.
Okay, so summer camp vibes, also really cool banner. I don't know if I'd define that as a really cool banner.
And state flags lining the drive-in.
Is that a Walmart parking lot?
And this is how Max was greeted. Look at this.
I love this guy.
this is yet another vanity project by Donald Trump and his admin. Even if no one asked for it, while the taxpayers foot the bill. The Daily Beast reported the games were framed by POTUS as an unprecedented extravaganza, pitting America's greatest high school athletes, one male, one female from each state and territory, against each other to celebrate the nation's 250th birthday. Very quickly, if you can, become a paid channel member or go to Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. Thank you. The schedule showed ESPN would air the Patriot Games from Sunday to Tuesday. On that front, involving that network, particularly at a time when ESPN has tried to distance itself from political headlines and embrace authentic passion for sports, Pat McAfee isn't making that any easier by publicly appearing with POTUS, even if it is for an event that the worldwide leader is airing. What we should conclude is rather simple, as USA Today's Nancy R. Moore put in her piece. McAfee wants to do whatever he wants and however he wants. And he doesn't want to have to answer for any of it. He might not be political in the traditional sense of the word, but he is absolutely feeding the toxic mindset that has made our society meaner and harsher. She continues, McAfee's entire brand is designed to appeal to the manosphere, young white men who have embraced toxic masculinity as a means of belonging. Cruelty is mistaken for strength. Willful ignorance is considered a sign of enlightenment. And anything goes so long as the hilarity is at someone else's expense. That McAfee is just talking about sports doesn't make the shtick any less problematic. Tons of folks see through this, by the way, not just yours truly. McAfee's smugness is truly the worst part about him. He will come out and say he isn't political, and that this doesn't mean anything, as he gleefully sits there with a shit grin. Jacob also saw the clip and made a great point online. Clay Travis made millions, whining for years that ESPN was too woke and to keep politics out of sports. Now ESPN's highest paid employee is sitting next to POTUS and he won't say a word about it. Lastly, from Luke Thomas, which I 1000% agree with. Even in sports media, you can damage or imperil your career with Palestinian advocacy, but it's all thumbs up if you want to be chummy with the guy responsible for blowing up a school of 120 girls in Iran. Let's just stop the bullshit, Pat. We know exactly what you're doing. We know exactly what your views are. It's really easy to read between the lines, but I truly cannot wait for him to throw a hissy fit because people are calling this out. And for him to be on the back foot while also saying, hey, I'm just there for the games. I'm just there with the scholarship. I'm just there because... Doesn't make sense. It never will make sense. You're a bullshit artist. We're just calling it out.